the way from The Hague. She has been covering this for us since the beginning of the trial, and she will be giving us the very latest. Good evening. Welcome to KTN Prime.
A very good evening to you from The Hague, and about 40 kilometers or so from here in Amsterdam at the Schiphol Airport. Deputy President William Ruto has in the last few minutes boarded his flight for Nairobi. Ruto is leaving the Netherlands after the trial chamber adjourned the trial against him until next Tuesday due to a delay in the arrival of witnesses. Before the adjournment, Ruto's co-accused Joshua Arap Sang made an impassioned plea to the court to drop the charges against him. Sang told the court it has the wrong man.
Please be seated. Veuillez vous asseoir.
Day 2 of the trial against Deputy President William Ruto and his co-accused Joshua Arap Sang kicked off with Sang's defense counsel Katwa Kigen making his opening statement.
Mr. Sang is innocent and that it is an insult to the intentions of the Rome Statute to have presented him to this trial.
His client, who referred to himself as a jobless broadcaster, was later to rise to give his own statement.
Here I stand, the prosecution bringing allegations that want to cut short my broadcasting life, the life that I enjoy.
Sang maintained his innocence, saying allegations by the prosecution against him were baseless.
The prosecution has the wrong person here.
Sang told the court that he had worked for 2 Christian radio stations before joining Kass FM and denied claims by the prosecution that he had ordered attacks in Eldoret during the post-election violence using his radio show.
And here, there's somebody saying it on there. 4 days, according to them. The government just was so lenient to me. I was too short to be noticed by law.
His lawyer termed Sang a victim of the weight and might of the prosecution and accused the prosecution of putting the Kalenjin community on trial.
Counsel for Mr. Sang says that the prosecution's case is about an indictment of the Kalenjin people and the Kalenjin tradition. Again, that is manifestly not our case.
The prosecution told the court that 22 of the witnesses it will present will testify on the actual events of the post-election violence, as William Ruto's defense team made demands over the list of witnesses.
Because the first 3 witnesses have withdrawn, we don't know who are going to come, who's going to be the 4th witness. And I would ask that an order be given that the prosecution send us a revised list of the next 10 witnesses.
We would prefer to call as many of the Kenyan witnesses as we can and get them out the way isn't perhaps the right word, but to get the evidence on record as swiftly as possible.
As had been anticipated, the court adjourned the trial until Tuesday next week to allow the prosecution time to prepare its witnesses.
And reconvene on Tuesday at 9:30.
The adjournment allowed Deputy President William Ruto to travel back home. Ruto will arrive in Kenya on Thursday morning and is scheduled to travel back to the Netherlands in time for the resumption of trial on Tuesday the 17th of September. Members of Parliament who are in The Hague in support of the Deputy President have also had to cut short their trip and are making arrangements to travel back home. Now, during the mid-morning session in court, the prosecution told the judges that it prefers to deal with the Kenyan witnesses first. The prosecution also indicating that those witnesses who are expected to take the stand next week should arrive in the Netherlands latest by tomorrow. That even as the ICC Trust Fund for Victims announced that those affected by the post-election violence will not be compensated if Kenya withdraws from the Rome Statute. Despite that adjournment, we are keeping it here in The Hague, and we will be bringing you the very latest on all matters on the situation of the Kenyan case before the court. Back to you in Nairobi.
Rita Tinina speaking to us all the way from The Hague, giving us the latest of what happened today. Of course, she will be keeping an eye on things for us there when the trial resumes next week.